don't know, the realization that I had like the other week is that schools these days are literally like dumbing down the curriculum so that like whatever the standard classes are like the lower level, and then like the AP classes are like, you know, people like in that mid-range, and then people that do like courses where they're getting like associates at the same time are truly like those that were in AP classes like years ago when I was in high school, like 2000 in the early 2000s, right? Which is insane because I literally academically, behaviorally, just everything, I cannot tell the difference between a ninth grader and a senior. They act the same, they perform the same, it's like their brains are on the same level, and I just think that that is crazy, and I'm honestly scared for our future because it's just not the same. And the worst thing that ever happened to the school system is computers, like laptops, iPads or whatever, like tablets. Like kids should not have that at all because it is such a distraction. So I don't know about anybody else, but in Virginia they took the phones away. Like their kids can't have phones at school, like they're not supposed to be on them or whatever, which is fine. You take that one distraction away, but then they have a literal Chromebook that they sit in class with and can watch YouTube, play games, do literally anything else. They could get on their Gmail and email each other. I heard people getting on like Google Docs and like talking to each other that way. So it really is just, it needs a refresh. It needs to just be torn apart and built back together with like old school basics, because at this point I really just wonder what our kids even learning. And I teach an elective, so like my class isn't even like make or break anything. Like it's just for funsies, you know, learn a little something, become a good, you know, person in the world. But these classes that kids actually need to like get their diploma and go on to college and whatever else, it's like I'd love to be in there, because a lot of my kids tell me in their other classes, like their core classes, that they're in class not doing anything so much of the time, and they'll tell me about how kids are acting like climbing on tables, climbing on each other, talking the whole time. I've asked like what other teachers do. I had one kid tell me that their driver's ed or health teacher or whatever just like plays Angry Bird all day while they just like hang out. And I get it. Like, you need a break. You're gonna just like play a little game on your phone for a second while they're doing some work. But like a whole class, and they come in there and it's basically just like a study hall. Again, that's like, it's not an elective, but it's not like a core class I'm talking about. So I'm curious, like in math and the science classes, and the English and the history, like, what are y'all teaching these kids? And like, what level do you feel like you're teaching them compared to when you were in school? Because it's definitely, some of these kids that tell me they are in AP classes is like, what? And then also I did have a student that told me that there's not even requirements to get into AP classes. So like, you don't even have to have a certain GPA or certain recs that you meet to get into that. She said that they were trying to get her to take AP classes and she has like a 2.5 GPA. That's mind blowing. And that's where I came to my conclusion that like these AP classes are really like for the mids, the academic mids, middle class, you know, middle of the line kids, but they're like slapping AP on it and getting those numbers. And then anyone that's not an AP is just like, just getting like the bottom of the barrel. So I don't know. This is all hearsay, I guess, and just from my perspective, because like I said, I don't know. I'm an elective, but it definitely feels like kids don't be knowing what they be knowing. They can barely even write. And my daughters have like perfect penmanship, and they did most of their schooling in Mississippi. And then we came back to Virginia, and I have high schoolers. I can't even read their handwriting. They can't even write sentences. That is scary. I mean, at a minimum, I think you should be able to write a sentence. Write a paragraph, like write, physically handwrite, and have good penmanship and know how to sign your name and write the date and just like basic things that they literally have no clue how to do.